Have you ever had a moment where you gave it everything? Your time, your energy, your whole heart, and you still failed? Maybe it was a test you studied all night for, and the grade just wasn't enough. Or maybe it was something deeper, a dream you held onto for years that just didn't work out. The thing about failure is, it's not just painful. It's personal. It makes you question everything. Am I even good enough? Was this all a waste of time? Should I just give up? We shouldn't shy away from failure. In fact, some of its greatest stories begin with it. But what's more important is how these stories teach us to confront it, not as a sign to stop, but as a signal to keep going, to change, to evolve. This video is about failure and why it might just be the most important part of your journey. Failure often hits us hardest when it challenges our identity. When you try something and it doesn't work out, it's easy to let that moment define you. It becomes less about what you did and more about who you are. It's why hearing someone say, "You're not good enough," sticks with us longer than we care to admit. It's not just the words. It's the feeling that maybe all your effort, all your time, was meaningless. But in truth, failure doesn't mean the journey was a waste. It means the journey is still unfolding. There's a reason failure feels so heavy. It's because it matters. It shows that you cared. It means you were brave enough to try something meaningful, even if the outcome didn't go the way you hoped. The moments that follow failure are often more defining than the failure itself. Because when you fail, you're left with a decision. Do you retreat? Or do you continue forward? Do you stay in the comfort of not trying again? Or do you push forward knowing the next failure could hurt just as much or even more? It's a terrifying choice. And yet it's in those moments that we learn what we're really made of. This is where growth begins. Not during the victory lap, but in the silence after the loss. When the room is quiet and no one is watching. It's when you decide whether or not to lace up your shoes and run again that you become someone different. Someone stronger. Not because you overcame failure yet, but because you refuse to let it be the final word. There's something humbling about failing. It strips away the ego. It forces you to stop pretending you have it all figured out. And while that can be deeply uncomfortable, it's also the birthplace of wisdom. You learn what you didn't know. You begin to see the holes in your preparation, your assumptions, your skills. And once you see those clearly, you get the rare opportunity to actually improve. That's what failure gives us. Clarity. It holds up a mirror and says, "This is who you are right now. What are you going to do about it?" People who are comfortable with failure, who see it as part of the process, don't fear setbacks as much as they value the insight those setbacks provide. That doesn't mean they enjoy failing. No one does. But they understand that each failure contains a lesson, and those lessons stack into experience. That's how you get better. Failure can also make you confront uncomfortable truths. It peels back the layers you've wrapped yourself in and asks hard questions. Why did you want this in the first place? Who were you trying to prove yourself to? What part of you believed that success would fix everything? Sometimes the answers are surprising. We realize we were chasing goals that didn't even belong to us. Or that we were so focused on not failing that we never asked whether the success we wanted would actually make us happy. In that way, failure isn't just a redirection, it's a revelation. It forces us to pause and recalibrate. It helps us refine our motivations and realign our goals. And maybe, if we're honest, failure gives us something even success can't: perspective. We live in a culture that's obsessed with success. We see highlight reels every day, on social media, in magazines, in stories that only talk about the wins. But rarely do we see the full picture. The rejection letters, the moments of doubt, the private breakdowns behind every public breakthrough. This constant exposure to polished versions of success can warp our expectations. It makes us feel like we're behind or broken just because we haven't made it yet. But most real success isn't instant. It's built quietly, in failure, in resilience, in staying consistent when no one's clapping for you. So when you fail, remember, you're not alone.